Japan. I'm Toby, and today I welcome Rodrigo on the show. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Toby, for having me. How's it going?
Very good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
It's a Monday afternoon, keeping up with the pace of the weekend, like a bit tired, but doing good.
A Monday?
Not really a Monday lover, but I'll go through it. No problem. Whatever.
So today, you didn't come alone. You brought some figures with you because you're a figure collector.
Exactly.
So we want to talk a lot about figure collecting today, which is quite big in Japan. And from what we exchanged a little bit before the episode, it's much bigger than I thought. So we'll have a lot to talk about. But before, maybe could you introduce yourself a little bit to our listeners?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I am Rodrigo Bebeder. I'm using my Spanish accent. That's because I'm Uruguayan. This means I come a long way from South America to Japan.
Yeah.
I've been living here for 5 years already.
Mm-hmm.
I did a pause. I went on 2021. I got back to Uruguay for 15 months. And then last January, returned to Japan after the pandemic. Well, there are a lot of things in the middle. But yeah.
So we arrived at the same time, 2018.
Yes.
Yeah.
What month?
October 1st.
Oh, it's actually close. September 25th.
Which is in 2 weeks. Oh, nice. So we really arrived just a few days after each other.
Exactly.
And so why did you pick Osaka? Why did you come here?
Well, I didn't go to Osaka at first. I moved to Gotenbashi. Gotenbashi, it's a small city. I don't know if I can call it city, but it's a small town, let's say, in Shizuoka prefecture.
Okay.
Super close to Mount Fuji, which it was like a really beautiful place.
Every morning you wake up and you see Mount Fuji.
Every day, yes. It got to a point where it's, oh, look, Mount Fuji. Sure.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. When you're not in Japan, a lot of people just dream of climbing it, and then you live there and you see it every day. It's like, well, it's my neighbor, right?
No, totally. I mean, I really enjoyed it. And when I moved out of Gotemba, I really missed it because I got to Osaka, which is the concrete jungle,
Yeah, it's a big city.
Yeah. But leave me here forever.
So you came over
Osaka.
to Osaka for work?
Not really. First, I gotta go a little bit back to why I moved to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So it was early 2018. I was like, I ended up a relationship I have with a woman. So I was like, well, I was just doing my second year in university, doing sports journalism, which is my second passion. And then I was tired of, I don't know, the relationship life and since I'm 18 years old, I'm in a relationship with someone. I'm 30 years old right now. So, and I didn't got a ring. So,
you're back to the relationship.
So I try to, yeah. So I was at that point after that relationship where I was questioning, what do I want to do with my life? I thought my country was I thought the world was bigger than my country. Mm-hmm. So I was okay, I would like to go somewhere. But I had no plans, no money, I was a kid, 24, 25 years old, still a kid. And then I met the person who is my wife today in probably May, June 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, we were dating, having an amazing time.
Back in Uruguay?
Yes, back in Uruguay. So the story is that I met her even 10 years before that. So it's a lifetime of knowing each other and some things in common. We like the same music and all that, but not really, nothing was going on because we had couples. But we always liked each other. Anyway, I'm not gonna not going to tell the love story, but I'm going to let you know that we were really having fun together and all that. But one day she says,
I'm going back to Japan.
I'm going back to Japan. So the story is my wife is half Uruguayan, half Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, sheesh. Okay. I mean, I was sad, of course, but at the same time, it's like, okay, this person will do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
She's brave enough to do it. So why would I say no? Stay here with me? No. I don't roll that way. So she left. Probably 2 months after we started like seeing each other. So we had really a lot of fun, but it was always like, okay, we enjoy the time we have because I'm leaving. Okay, sure. So the day she left, I remember saying to her, I promise you that this year I'm going to visit you in Japan. I will do it. No money, no nothing. But it's the will, right? Like, you want something really? Okay, work for it, right? So, okay. 3 months later,
You're on the plane.
I am quitting my job, quitting university in the middle of the career, in the middle of the degree, saying bye to my family, my friends, but always happy, right? I'm not living in a bad circumstance because my country didn't, no, not at all. I love my country and I always carry my Uruguayan heart wherever I go. And I always remember, there's a song that says, no te olvides del pago si te vas para la ciudad, cuanto más lejos te vayas, más te tienes que acordar. Which means when you leave your country, the longer the I don't know, sorry, excuse me, my English, please. The further you go, the more you have to remember about your country. So I always carry that with me.
So that's quite the story to bring you all the way to Japan. Like, just leave everything behind, come here. What was the first like things that shocked you when you arrived to Japan? Like, how did you adapt?
Well, Toby, you're a foreigner living in Japan, same as me. I don't know how was your case, but in my case, I only knew how to say konnichiwa and arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
And that's it, right? You always think, okay, Japan is a very, an international country and everybody knows about Japan, and I'm a huge anime fan, so yeah, that's gonna be good. We're gonna be good. But then you find out that you're going to a town with the closed slang. Nobody says a word, can speak a word in English. I get along with English pretty well, but
not with Japanese.
I thought the English was gonna be, English is gonna help me, but no, not at all. So first day, the first phrase I learned, Nihongo wa karanai, all the time, or saying hi, all the time, right? Which of course I made a lot of mistakes because of saying hi all the time.
Yeah, you don't want to say yes to something you actually don't want to do, right?
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things, man. It's my country is a really, really small country of 3 million people. We have no mountains. We have no big industries. We don't have factories. We don't have it's not a capitalist country, more the opposite. It's like people will consume, everything is hard. If you want to get things, you got to get them from abroad because there's no really producers, like the big producers in the world, that they are all here. Well, they are not in Uruguay. So for me, it was a new world, a new planet.
And now you've been here for 5 years, just like me. A lot has changed. Your Japanese has improved.
Well, yes, it has improved.
And you found a job
it's
as well.
not really the way I would like to, But yeah, I mean, I can say first I was like, okay, I can speak survival Japanese, and now I'll say, okay, I can follow a conversation, almost everything, not at all. I will say in the JLPT scale, I'm a N4, almost N3. It's not much, but
little by little.
I'm here.
You're here. And now you're working here in Osaka. You found a job.
Yes. Well, to take you to my current job, I want to say that when I was in Shizuoka, in 2018. I was there for 10 months working in a factory.
In the factory.
Yes. No Japanese, nothing. Go work there, factory. I got a friend there who got me a job in a factory. It was, man, so tough. So tough.
Like physically, mentally, everything. I will have the strong Japanese working culture that everybody in the world are very familiar with. I was living it myself. Every day.
Right. Like,
so you needed a way to get out of there.
yeah, of course. I was doing 3 hours of Sangyo every day, and I had to.
Overtime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sangyo means overtime for people. I was doing overtime 2 or 3 hours a day. Man, working on Saturdays, and like in this factory I was working, it was like, okay, if you don't do overtime, you're
fired.
Not that, even worse. Like, you're letting your team down because
they blame you for
they
it.
all do overtime, and because of you're not doing overtime, they have to even work more, right? So this mentally is like stuff, and it's like, okay, I didn't come to Japan for this. So yeah, save money. All that I could. It wasn't much. It was, I think, in Japanese yen, I saved like 200,000 yen, which is not much really, but it's still money, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
Same with my wife. My wife is half Japanese on that, but she also was born and raised in Uruguay, couldn't really speak Japanese. So we were in the same situation, working in the same factory, by the way. And we said, okay, we get this money, and this day, July 2019, July 31st, is gonna be our last day. This was like 5 or 6 months before. It's gonna be our last day, and we're going to the big city. I don't care where. I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
So we went visiting Tokyo. I love Tokyo. I have to say, one of the memories I'm gonna have when people dies, they have like these images of their life, flashback of their life. I am pretty sure, man, that one of those is gonna be my first impression of walking in Tokyo and seeing the city and the skyscrapers and everything. I was like,
yeah, for someone who's never been there, it is impressive. It's just
I was never in a
big.
big city. You know what I mean? Not even, I don't know the States, Europe, like this huge, I only know Buenos Aires in Argentina, which is crazy, but it's still different. Like Tokyo has a unique vibe.
Tokyo is Tokyo.
Right? By the way, I think it's the best city in the world.
Better than Osaka? Be careful what you say now.
No. If you want to live, Osaka is the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Osaka's quality of life is very, very nice.
So, okay, we visited Tokyo and then visited Osaka. And, man, I fell in love with Osaka. The first night, I was like, dude, people here are super crazy. Everybody's like having fun, and it's not as clean as... doesn't mean it's not
dirty. It's more laid back.
Seeing trash is not good anywhere. But it wasn't like Tokyo is perfect. Everything is perfect. And if you step out of this line a little bit, it's like people are observing you. And it's here was more laid back, more chill. And I was like, yeah. And of course, it's cheaper than Tokyo. At the same time.
It's more affordable. Yeah.
So we moved. So July 31st, last day in the factory. We rent a van, a big van. We didn't have much stuff in our house. We put everything there. Drove to Osaka. New life. No job. Just 200,000 Japanese yen each. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. And you made it. And now you are living here with your wife. Now wife, wasn't wife at the time. And you have a very big collection of figures.
Yes.
That wasn't in the van that you drove all the way from Shizuoka.
Man.
So how did that get started?
Well, before moving to Osaka, like a couple of days before, we had this goodbye celebration with the factory coworkers. So my previous, I don't know how to call it, team leader, in the
Mhm.
factory. We went to his house to drink beers together and like farewell party. We made some good friends, by the way, there.
Mhm.
And like he saw I have a One Piece tattoo here, which is like the Jolly Roger of the pirate flag of the
One Piece crew.
Straw Hat
Yeah.
Pirates.
Yeah.
So he was like, thank you for your hard work. Like, I hope you had a good life. I want to give you something. And he came and he gave me this figure.
So the figure you brought
This
today is
figure
the
I
one
have
that he gave you.
here. Yes. So Matsui-san, my old team leader, gave me this figure. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm a huge One Piece fan. I never had like a figure of this quality. Now it's a little bit old and dirty, but it's still important to me. So that figure went with my stuff in the band.
That was the first one.
Yes, the first one of
Many
hundreds.
hundreds.
Oh my god.
So how did that figure kind of start the desire for you to collect?
Well, basically because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I think I didn't tell you yet. Okay, I moved to Osaka and then I found the job that I currently have,
Mm-hmm.
which is I'm a marketer I'm a team leader for a marketing team in Zen Market.
Mm-hmm.
And I started in September 2019 until this day. So because of my job, I really got savvy about figures because I had to advertise figures and all that
Oh,
because
I
it was
see.
a huge niche for the community. And well, the pandemic came, right? So we didn't really have, I'm saying we because my wife and I she like with the pandemic, like she was teaching English, so the school closed, so she wasn't working.
That was difficult.
And I was working remote, but by then I'm telling you this is April, May 2020 ish. And I have this figure in my house, there.
Just by itself.
I have time, I have free time. I have some money, right? Like pandemic, I'm not really spending on anything, so I have some savings. So I was like, and I had a car too, by the way. I bought a small K car that drove me everywhere. So I was like, okay, any day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like after finishing my working day, we were like getting the car and go somewhere. So we were like, oh, I heard this store. Somebody told me to visit this store. This is a really good secondhand things.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I didn't know I was going into my my new passion, which was a book off. I don't know if I can.
So book off
name,
is like a chain of second-hand goods in Japan where you can find. Well, the name is book off because probably initially they sold a lot of manga and books,
Yes.
but now you can find a lot more.
Now
than
it's
just-
whatever you can find. I mean, depends. Of course, there are like dedicated stores to mangas or to other things like figures or even they have like their brand. They have like other shops like Hard Off, Hobby Off, Off House, and like Hard Off is dedicated to hardware and electronics. Hobby Off is dedicated to hobby figures, any kind of figures. Off House is like more like furniture for home and clothes. And then you have like the Book Off Super Bazaar, which is like everything
all in
one place. These ones are like the gold mines for me. So yeah, I was like, okay, I have this figure and you need some company. This figure is alone by itself, right? So I got there and bought like 2 or 3 figures, like from One Piece. Like I bought a Zoro and Sanji.
You have to put the crew together, right?
Yes, but I was like, the thing that got me the most was like the price, right? So there is this this thing about Japanese secondhand stuff that it's secondhand for them, but for us it's brand new, or at least for me. I don't know your feelings about it. Totally.
I agree. I mean, back in France, where I grew up, I would also be wary, buying something from eBay or secondhand websites. You're always like a bit doubtful, is it going to be in good quality and so on. But in Japan, you go to secondhand store or you buy on secondhand websites like Mercari, Yahoo Auctions. It's most of the time very good quality, even clothes. If it's not good quality, it's very cheap and they advertise it that it's broken, it's damaged. But if they sell it and advertise it as good quality, you're going to get something.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. No, it's
so you can get a lot of good figures in good quality secondhand.
Yes. So I remember buying like the Grandista version is a type of figure, the big ones from Zoro and Sanji One Piece for like 800 Japanese yen, which is like
$6.
Yeah, around that $6. But I'm telling you, new, because it had the box. Maybe let's say the box had little scratch.
The box,
but
not the figure.
No, you open the figure. It's even like in this
plastic wrap.
Plastic wrap is still like unopened, totally unopened.
So how much would this figure cost if you buy it new?
Let's say 5 or 6 times more.
5 or 6 times more.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big discount.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I was like, I couldn't believe it. So I started. I was like, okay, well, if
it's only 800
cheap,
yen,
I'm gonna maybe let me add some more company to these figures, right? So we were like, and then my wife also like got really into like secondhand clothes and all that, and we were like, okay. We arrived to any secondhand shop and it was like, hey, bye, see you later. I was going to the figures and she was going to the clothes, right? Every day.
To each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, of course, it was me all the time with the bags of figures and I have to get this. And now, well, I got this, I need to get this one. So I started like, I don't know, let's say in the first week I got 10 figures. And then it was like, okay, I really like this. The feeling of collecting something. I always had this. But in my country, it was really hard to collect stuff. Pricey. I never had like real like money as I have now, like because I'm independent. I'm telling you, like I was living at my mom's, right? So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely learn more about this world now that I'm here. It's something I never expected. I mean, there are a lot of things that can drive your attention in Japan, but for me, this one I didn't know that this world existed.
So now, do you get all your figures secondhand, or do you buy some new?
No, totally secondhand.
All secondhand,
of course. It's the same as buying new.
What would be the advantage of buying new? Maybe getting something that's newly released?
In Japan, if you buy a figure that is new, you're throwing your money away. Go to the secondhand shop, get it for half the price, unopened as new. Right? For example, if you want, I brought some figures today to do an unboxing here with you, and like I never know I was going to come to the podcast, but they still have the price on.
Okay.
So do you want me to show you one?
Sure. Let's have a look at one figure that you brought.
Okay, I have a big bag here, but I will show you, for example, this one, which is pretty.
So another
crazy.
figure from One Piece.
This is a figure from One Piece. It's one of the latest figures that like came out. Is a character. Is a samurai from the Wano Kuni. Wano Kuni is like let's say the traditional Meiji era in Japan.
Okay.
It's like it's basically talks about all that, and you actually get to learn a lot from Japanese culture in this arc. So
you bought this box here second-hand.
I went to the second-hand shop, Book Off. This is it's Book Off, but it can be any second-hand because It's a matter of scavenging. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
The
like
same
going
figure-
hunting for figures.
The same figure in 10 different stores can be like a totally different price. You have like these stores that are like the foreigner hunters that they like the charge for these figures is maybe, I don't want to lie to you, but 15 times this price.
Okay.
15.
I think we'll get back to this because this is an
Alright.
interesting topic. But what I'm really shocked here is like, so this is a pretty big figure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's about the size of my hand,
Yes.
and it
it's
looks
brand new.
Brand new.
We'll check it out now.
The price is 550 yen, tax included. That's
Yes.
like $4.
Yes.
So if you buy this in France, I have not. Maybe I'm
Well-
gonna say something very wrong here, but I would guess you pay at least like 20 something euros,
I will say 40, 50
40, 50.
at least.
Wow, that's really
At
big.
least. So I spent $3, $4 on this figure, and right now we'll check it together. I'll show you like how does it look in the inside. If we had like, do you have a scissors?
Do I have a
Something?
scissors? I do
If
not.
you don't, it's fine.
I think we'll make
fine.
it. It's fine. We got it. All right.
I think.
Just a little
Like
bit more tape.
Yeah, I mean,
This as a side note. So you're kind of opening the box without necessarily the utmost care.
no, I
Is
don't.
a
I don't
box
care.
important for collectors?
No,
or-
and in this case, that's a good question. In this case, I collect figures not because of thank you, because of passion, because I'm a huge One Piece fan and I want to be a collector, and I don't have like any.
So you're not collecting for reselling. You're collecting for
No,
yourself.
not at all.
But if you want to resell, is it important to keep the box?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. This is and for Japanese, it is. For me, in this case, it's not. I'm going to use this figure to as display in my house. And the thing is, you cannot see the figure, right?
No.
This happens a lot with the Japanese figures, like anime figures.
So the box is completely sealed, and you don't have any
It's
kind
sealed.
of
You
window.
cannot. Most of them, like for example, these collection ones, you cannot see the figure. So why do you want to keep it in the box if you cannot see it? Collectors will say that doesn't matter. I want it here, but look,
So it's neatly packaged. It has an extra kind of cardboard wrapping around,
yes,
a little bit more tape,
exactly.
and somewhere inside. All right, here we go.
Here we go. Look for you to see.
It's brand new. It's
sorry?
actually brand new. So how does this happen? Like, how come a brand new figure? Because it's in the original seal. It's like in sealed
Yes,
plastic wrapping.
Exactly. This is a completely brand new figure.
So how does a completely brand new figure get sold secondhand for 500 yen at a secondhand store?
The thing is, for example, I mentioned Book Off because it's the one that I can really talk about the most because it's the one that I know the most. But for Japanese, these things are not really, they don't have really the value that it has for us as foreigners, which we don't have. We don't grow up with all this. Like, we don't have the massive production. We don't have any of it. So I guess, like, as long as they, if you, let's say I take this to Book Off right now, I brand new, I take the price there and I sell it in another Book Off, right? For them, because it's already a figure that came from me, not because it doesn't matter if it's new, it came from me, right? So it is secondhand.
Yeah.
So it's already, just that price is 50% lower.
I see.
It's not new. It's you touched it.
You
know?
touched it.
So
You touched it. It's not new, and they're just.
it loses value right away. So, and then of course in these stores they pay you and they give you nothing because people are getting rid of it. People don't want it. Whatever.
They
get
give you
rid of
100
it.
yen for it, and they resell it for 500. So they make
Exactly.
they make 500% profit.
They are all around, all across the country, for hundreds and hundreds of stores.
Mm.
So yes, and that's with everything, right? I'm talking about figures because it's the thing I got into, but a lot of things are really cheap. I wanted to open it for you,
Oh.
Toby.
Wow, I mean, he's a samurai too. I don't know his name, but he looks very, very cool.
It's called Denjiro.
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 Samurai from Wano Kuni.
From Wano Kuni. That's right. A really nice character.
So I don't know much about One Piece. I just saw the live action which came out recently.
Just look at it if you want. Oh, let's put the hair.
He needs his hair. He needs his
hair. Oh, okay.
So for these figures, there's a lot of series, right? You have one specific series of figures, and it has all the matching characters in the same size, format, in the same kind of graphic style.
Exactly.
Does this play a big role on the price and the value of each figure?
Yes, of course. These ones, let's say the Grand Line series, it's called this collection.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the one that they make the most figures, right? So I'm probably more than 50% of One Piece characters, and there are a lot of characters in One Piece, have their own Grand Line series figure.
Okay.
Depending the arc, the movie, and there are like, I don't know, for the main characters, there are like 10 of each.
So 10 times the same character, but like different pose,
arc, different pose, different arc, different moment of the story. So wait, this one is
the final touch, the knife,
the samurai.
The knife. I said the knife. It's a katana. It's a bit offensive, maybe for the.
Yeah.
Well, he looks pretty cool, and there's not a scratch. There's nothing.
No, it's brand new. You're seeing it here. Nobody opened this before.
So a lot of figures, a lot of characters from different arcs, different stages of each manga. I want to get more into the actual figures a little bit later. But so you mentioned you buy a lot from Book Off.
Yes.
And for people that may travel to Japan soon or are living here, one famous neighborhood would be to buy them in Akihabara in Tokyo.
Yes.
The kind of anime and manga related.
That's right, the capital of the anime of the world.
But we also have our own here in Osaka. We have Denden Town.
We have the Denden Town, man. We have our own. Let's say. The branch, the Akihabara small branch in Osaka.
How would you compare the two? Do you think you can find everything you want in Denden Town? Or are some things exclusive to Akihabara?
Denden Town is the youngest brother here, right? Denden Town is using her or his whatever older brother's clothes. You know what I mean? Like whatever is in Denden Town, it's in Akihabara. Akihabara is like the capital of the anime in the world. So it has everything in a huge scale. It's an entire neighborhood dedicated to that. Denden Town is the same, but in a
smaller format.
Exactly, in a smaller format, right? So I know Denden Town as I know my hand, right? The palm of my hand. So Denden Town is great. You can find, I can even recommend people anytime where to go.
So any stores you recommend in particular to check out?
Yes. If I was, if a tourist comes and asks me, hey man, I'm going to Akihabara, where do I go? Surugaya.
Surugaya.
Yes. Surugaya, has the best prices.
Okay.
That's for me.
So price-wise, Surugaya has the best.
I'm how is the word?
Price sensitive.
Yeah. No.
You're hunting for good deals.
Exactly. I like gambles.
Oh, I see.
I'm not a gambler, but I
like to find good deals.
Yeah, not
bargainer.
Gambler. Bargainer. Sorry,
all
I'm
right.
a bargainer. Yeah.
So Surugaya, if you're looking for bargain deals, is the best.
Yes.
What if you're looking for like super specific things? Are there stores that have a reputation for having only like very rare figures or really?
I'm a scavenger. I want to go to the store and see if I find something. Of course, there have been times that I'm looking for this specific figure. Where can I get it? But in that case, you don't go to the shops. You go use Mercari, Amazon, whatever. But for me, the beauty of this is going myself to the stores, because what happens in the secondhand stores is like every day it changes.
So yeah, do you know a little bit how does these anime figure secondhand stores work?
Yes. I mean, as a customer, as a frequent customer, I go to Allentown at least once a week when I have time.
So for someone who's never been there,
Yes.
one easy way to maybe picture it, some of the stores I've been as well to look for figures for my brother. You walk in, you have a lot of glass, glass shelves.
Yes.
Glass shelves. Well, basically a lot of figures inside those glass boxes, so you can see everything on display. You walk through, it's usually very narrow, very tight, and a lot of figures crammed in a small space. Sometimes entire collections, sometimes individuals.
Yes.
And you just have to look for what you're looking for, the best deals or a specific figure.
Yes. I mean, you have, in these stores, you have everything, right? You have crazy giant figures that are worth over 50,000 yen.
So like $400.
Super limited and all that. For me, I always go to the, let's say, not call it junk, but they call it that way here.
Okay.
Right? They have
Junk
this
store.
junk, like the junk part of the store with even a letter. It says
and you're
junk.
looking for treasures.
And I look for treasures, exactly. So I go and I see. I mean, for me personally, as I told you, I don't really. If the figure is, let's say, a rare figure, it is used without the box. It has a tiny scratch here. For example, this is really important. The base.
Okay.
A small scratch on the base. Price goes like this. But even worse than not having the box.
So the price goes down a lot.
I personally don't care about that. I want to display in my home. I'm a collector, and then I'll check it out. I'll see if it's like it's losing the paint. I'll go. I buy the paint and I paint it myself. I try to. It's like a hobby, you know, like to keep my mind distracted from the chaos in Japan. But no, this one, as you see, is completely brand new. And then I see, and I know, like, okay, there's a new figure coming out. This is one of the newest. So the newest figures always have a lower price because this is the new. They want people to have it, right? So they lower the price. But I know that a figure comes out, I know already. I have like my mental clock. 2 months after, 1 month and a half after, this price, at this figure at this price, it's gonna at least go half for a certain period of time. So
you got the good deal.
Yes.
But it
doesn't get better than this price.
Where do all those stores in Dendentown or Akihabara get their figures from?
From people.
So people buy them new from the original makers, and then they all resell to those stores.
Yes. I guess they also probably buy to some. They have some connections with the factories, the providers, and then like, okay, because every time that a new figure comes out, it's in every store in the town. So I guess they have some contacts there for sure. I cannot really confirm that. I guess.
And so you mentioned that you got this one for like a really, really good deal, but you said that some stores specialize in selling to foreigners.
Yes.
And that it will be actually more expensive than this.
It's crazy.
So how do you spot those stores? How do you know if a store is selling or targeting more foreigners?
I visit those shops and I see the prices. That's it.
So based on the price, you know.
Of course,
I know tourist area.
Yes. This figure, I bought it $3 or $4, right? And I go to the store, and I see that $35.
But for someone who comes for the first time, they may
don't know.
think it's a correct
They're
price.
still open, so they still sell figures.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like fishing for foreigners. It's fine. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. They have to survive
for a pretty big margin.
But I tell you something, Surugaya, shop that really is not about the prices and making money. It's like they're smart, right? They have the most sales out of everyone. I'm pretty sure. I cannot confirm, but every time you go to Surugaya, it's full and people are buying. You see the line, people buying, and you go to these shops and you see the same figures over and over again there. So they're really selling. Maybe, but Surugaya is every day is busy, and every day is because they sell and they buy and they're like one of the biggest companies in Japan, right? So the reason is
Big
because
business.
they know they're smart. They're smart, so they put figures in a really, really, really cheap price. They don't lose, they win. So if you want, I have another one I bought there.
How about we open that one a little bit later?
Okay.
And I was wondering, so you bought those figures at the store because you like the physical experience of going and hunting for your favorite figures.
That's
What about buying online? Do you ever buy figures online in Japan? Yeah.
Yes.
How's the online second-hand market? Is it the same or is it?
Yes.
Because you can't actually
sometimes
see,
it's even better.
right?
Sometimes it's even better.
Even better than 500 yen.
Because you buy in bulk,
I
right?
see.
It's. I mean, if you want to buy a single figure online, don't buy online. Don't buy it. Go to the shop.
Are you
You
sure
save
you
on
can find
shipping
it
and all
at the shop though? Because if you go to the shop and you don't
Yes.
necessarily like that experience of,
If you go to Denden Town or Pukov, you're gonna find what you're looking for.
100%.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'll take your word for it.
I swear to you, I have already. Mainly a one-piece figure collector, and I have over. Don't want to lie. I'll send you a video then so we can put it for us for a few seconds for you, like you can see my room. Over 500 figures.
Wow, that's a lot of figures in that's like one figure every 3 days in the last 3 years.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yes. But if I have a Google Sheet file for myself
Where you
I
keep
put
track of everything. Yeah.
track of everything. I'm a psycho about that. Psycho in a way, like I would need to keep everything in order and like figure size, picture, price, when, where, right? It's part of the hobby too, I like this kind of stuff. So in total, I'm not afraid of saying it, but I've spent in my whole collection around $7,000 in 3 years. But if I wanted to get this collection brand new, let's say I live in the States, I want to buy from Japan, I will get a good deal, but there I'll have to pay shipping. I'm in Japan already, so I tell you, buying it here in Japan, I saved. Probably my collection is worth over $30,000 at least.
Yeah,
I don't know. I cannot count. I don't know the actual prices of the new figures, but yes.
That's well, if it's a hobby and you break it down over the 3 years, and you would spend that money on another hobby like.
No, but I'm trying to calm down a little bit.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Well, how do you deal with the space, right? Because 500 figures, you need space for 500 figures.
Yes. Well, I used to live in a house with 3 rooms. So I had the room dedicated to it.
A room for the figures.
Yeah.
Every collector's dream.
Yeah. I mean, I was living, hey man, I was having a good time. I was like fulfilling my childhood dream that it was okay. One day I want to have an amazing collection of something. Well, I have it now.
Well, you'll show us a video later, so we'll see kind of how it actually is. You said that online is even better for bulk buying. So where would you go online, and how do you know that what you're buying is in kind of like good condition?
As I think I told this at the beginning. Here in Japan, secondhand for me, is new.
Yeah.
That's the first part. Second part, it's really hard, although it can happen. It's really normal that sellers are trustworthy. Never happened to me. I heard of people that got scammed. Of course, not saying they're not scammers. I mean, scammers are everywhere. But from my experience, I have the One Piece figure, and then I have another collection which is different because I keep it in the box, which is like the Hasbro Kenner Star Wars figures from back in the day, from the early 2000s, early 90s. vintage.
So you keeping them for the,
Yeah,
the long run.
these ones are like, okay, let me see, they're cheap here, they're everywhere, but let's see in 20 years, I keep them in boxes. I have like 150. They are like small, they are basic figures.
Okay.
They are cheap.
All right.
Like 300-400 yen. But I'm trying to pull up the whole collection, right? That's like my mindset. Now I need to pull up the entire collection, because if I have every single figure for this collection, then I did it first. It's like the personal satisfaction, like achievement. But then it's like, well, I have the full collection of these vintage figures already. What happens in 15-20 years? I don't know.
You don't know.
But that feeling is beautiful. That feeling is beautiful.
Mm.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe they're worth nothing. Maybe they are. They probably will, because like there are already figures from 25 years like in the box. Safe. We'll see. Star Wars is a Star Wars, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a
And I
classic.
really
And now
like
they're
it too.
making a lot of extra content for Star Wars too. But
Definitely.
we could have a whole discussion about that, and I'm sure many fans or angry fans might have something to say about it, but we'll not get into that. So buying online in Japan is mostly trustworthy.
Yes.
Which website would you go for figures though?
Mainly Mercari.
Mercari. So
Yes.
Mercari is like a second-hand platform with an app.
For all the people like the normal people, the regular citizens. Everyone can buy and sell there. And I only use Mercari. I used Amazon for other stuff, but for figures, Mercari, it's...
What if you want to buy from those online stores, and you might think you might live overseas, and you're like, oh, I want to buy, but you can't maybe read a Japanese website, or they don't ship overseas. Are there like solutions for that?
Oh yes, there are. For example, where I work, my company, Zen Market, it's basically that. It's a proxy service, which it means we're intermediate between the customer and the Japanese store who don't ship abroad, and they have only Japanese website. We do it for you.
So
basically.
Buying from overseas online also possible. You can use services like Zen Market to kind of...
Yes, for sure. And then what people need to know is like all these stores that I'm mentioning, Hard Off, Book Off, Surugaya, all these big ones, Mandarake, Super Potato, whatever.
That's a cool name.
They all have, it is, by the way.
Super
But
Potato.
he's one of these foreigner hunters.
No, foreign hunters.
Yeah, I would be careful buying there, but they have everything, retro game.
So they have what you want, but at a premium.
Yeah. So all these stores, they have a website. Most of them don't ship abroad. They don't need it.
It's too don't need it. Maybe
They
too
don't need it.
complicated.
The market here is so big, and everybody's are so into it, because of course everyone loves figures here. Everyone loves trading cards. Everyone loves games, retro games, PCs. All that Den Town and Akihabara have.
And the second-hand market, right? It's quite... Someone likes a figure, he buys or she buys that figure, and then maybe later they don't want it anymore, they just resell it, and then someone else finds happiness in buying that second-hand figure and then resells it, and it's like a kind of circle.
Exactly. So let's say I'm in Uruguay, right? So I want to buy Japanese figures. Okay. I can look in Amazon, whatever, like online, new, super expensive. But then I found out about this store, Surugaya. I go to their website, and they have like second-hand prices for people here, right? The cheap ones, and in 95% of the products are in perfect condition. It's gonna be they are super, like, they don't lie to you here. They always say there's a scratch in the box. There is a.
They'll show you the small details, and you'll be like, they really had to report this in Europe, so nobody will have ever mentioned that there's this little.
Most
dent.
of them. This is a normal thing in Japan, in the cultural Japan, which is okay. Things as they are, right? So, of course, you can find people who don't do that, but they will tell you that, and you'll see the price, and you'll see, oh, but this is too cheap, right? How do I get sure? Like, because I have to pay the the shipping fees to my country, Uruguay, from Japan to Uruguay is
Not cheap.
expensive. Yeah. So my company, the company I work for, you can like go to this website, Japanese website store like Surugaya. You see a product I wanted to copy the product link URL. You paste it in our website's search bar, and you ask us when we have like customer support. We're gonna check the item. We're gonna tell you. So it's like it's really the best alternative.
So it's actually doing this for their market for a while. That at the beginning, kind of from this Luffy figure, kind of really got you into it because you were doing this research. And then you're like, well, I want those figures too for myself.
Exactly. I heard from people, I see what everyone were buying, and I got really like into it,
So let's talk more about the actual figures because I'm very curious. We know they're new, we know they're in good conditions, but how do you choose? Because there are so many. Right. So when I went to those stores, the main anime figure you see there will be One Piece by far, Dragon Ball, Naruto.
Those two. But Naruto is getting better,
but it's still
hard to find Naruto ones.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But still there. And then you will find figures in a much more limited variety from currently popular anime, right? Like Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, you will also see. So whatever is popular at the moment, you'll find sections.
A lot.
But then for anime that are maybe really good, but not blockbusters.
Like Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, you Hunter x Hunter you'll find I think some figures more difficult, but I was thinking about even more kind of maybe less internationally known anime. It's hard to find. So if you let's say like Dororo or Samurai Champloo, kind of also some older anime, you don't really find.
It's really hard. Right? Yeah, it's really hard. Those ones are really expensive.
So it's good if you're a One Piece fan.
Yes. If you're a One Piece fan, One Piece fan as me, it's easy.
But then you have so much choice. So how do you choose? How do you decide? I'm gonna get this one or not that one, or I want this collection or not that collection.
Yeah, there are a lot of collections from One Piece, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of figures. I personally have more than 500 One Piece figures. So mostly, I like 3 types. This one. Grand Line series.
Grand Line series, okay.
They have like the Grand Line Man, Grand Line Woman, Grand Line Children, and then movies. Or DXF 2. I like these ones because they are all, the size are like, well, the one, like the scale is perfect, so you can have the whole collection.
It's like kind of like a hand, size of a hand.
Yeah, basically, yes. And if you see, like, for example, this one is says extra. It's a little bit bigger, but this one is a Grand Line Man 2. And if you compare it, it's a bit smaller. Just a bit, right? So, but this one is a rare one.
This one is also the character you have on your t-shirt?
Exactly. That's Corazon.
So you have a t-shirt, you have tattoo, you have the figures. Is there anything you don't have from One Piece that you want?
Not really. I have everything.
You have everything.
Yeah.
Is this a typical thing for a collector that there's maybe one specific figure that you really want to find, or that maybe
a lot of times?
Yeah, a lot of times.
Yes.
So is there one figure that you're currently looking for that you can't find?
From One Piece, to be honest with you, no. I got them all already.
You got them all?
Yes, the one from One Piece. Then I also like, I have like some classic Dragon Ball figures, but not like the Dragon Ball Super, the newest one. No, like the classic ones. I'm like really looking for some of them. And then like I want to have at least the main character of all my favorite animes, right? So Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, well, even going back to childhood, Samurai X. I don't know if
I do not know Samurai X, but
I don't know if it's in English. It's the same. I'm telling you how it was in Spanish. It's Samurai X. There are a lot of animes that really classic good animes, and I'm collecting Kimetsu no Yaiba, Jujutsu Kaisen, all the ones that are easy to find. But yeah, for One Piece, I think I'm. So now I just when I get when they release a new one from the Grand Line series, I go, I wait, I know where to go, I know the price, where it will oscillate.
How often do they usually release new figures from
Every month.
One piece? Every month?
Every month, yes.
Like 1 or 2 characters?
Yes, at least. If it's not Grand Line, it's Ichiban Kuji, which is like the Japanese lottery.
Okay.
Which is also interesting. But the same day that the new Ichiban Kuji collection goes in the convenience store, at the very next day you see them all in the town already on sale.
Do they release new series as well, or is it always
Yes.
just new figures in part of the same series?
No, I think they have like these 3 or 4 big series, and they just release new figures from that series. They don't really go. They don't need to go. I mean, they have so many figures, man. I tell you.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of characters and a lot of evolution in those characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go to those second-hand figure stores, sometimes you also see in some obscure corners very strange figures.
Oh, yes, sir.
So I remember a story when I first came to Japan. I think it was maybe 10, 11 years ago. And I was in a store. I was looking for some One Piece figures from the Grand Line series from my brother. And while I was just scavenging like you do, a man entered the shop and he walked up to the staff holding his phone, and he was like, "Oh, I would like to buy this figure." So he shows the staff the phone, and they look, "Oh yeah, we have it."
That's on the secret room. Hold on a second, please, sir.
Yeah, exactly. So the staff goes back to that secret room and comes back with a huge box, really, really big box, and hands it over to the guy. And the guy turns around, and it's this very sexualized woman. I'm not gonna give out any more visual details, but kind of it can be very shocking, I think.
But with the intimate parts taped.
The intimate parts are taped,
of course.
And this figure, very big, costs probably $200 more or less. And the guy just buys that and walks out like nothing happened. So I remember this story because I was just thinking, like, who buys this kind of figure and what do you do with it? Do you just like collecting One Piece figures and just displaying them on your home for decoration for your personal? I get it. But what about this kind of...
it's a niche.
It's a niche. But who collects this? And is it exactly with the same purpose as like One Piece?
Well, since I don't collect these figures, but I've been in Denton Town hundreds and hundreds of times and I've seen everything, man. I tell you, everything. I don't want to be disrespectful to the culture because I really appreciate it and respect it. But I guess this the public for this niche, this, let's call it over 18 content figures, mostly from what I saw, this is like men over 35, 40 years. Every time I see that, like someone buying something like that, it's that. We can get into the culture and talk about if this is a normal thing. Well, around here it is normal. It is not. There's no.
I guess you're not.
For
really
us, it's more. It's like whoa.
Yeah, it is quite surprising, but
Right?
but the niche is there, and sometimes not in a secret room, but also in public display. You might see.
They don't hide. They don't hide. They're there. If you go like there's a store in Denton Town, Animate, one of the most famous in Japan.
A chain as well, chain store,
exactly. I don't remember the floor exactly. It has a lot of floors, right? Like every store here. But you get to a floor, let's say 4th floor, 5th floor. You get there, and one time I was with my wife, and we were like just wandering around, and when I stepped on this floor, I was like, okay, it looks super kawaii, super beautiful, pink and music and anime music, and
so you might think it's like maybe
a lot
children,
of life, But in this particular floor, in that particular store, is where I saw all these
Sexualized
where I got this idea of okay, it's directed to this type of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without judging, without sounding disrespectful again, sorry. But in that floor, I only saw, let's say, 10 men over 35, 40 years old.
Yeah, it is an aspect of culture
Yes.
that's like maybe very different from what we know and maybe confusing or...
Yeah. And they were all in that floor, all separated, but there, reading this content. So I was like there, walking by. And they were reading this over 18 content.
Mm-hmm. Hentai.
Exactly. Hentai. Sometimes even not sure if the characters
are human or not.
Not only human, if they are over 18, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So you don't know. So, and I was like, I had this feeling that I had to get out of here. It came in like nauseous. I tell you, I was like, but I understand. I mean, of course, for me, it's not good. It's not okay, but that doesn't mean it's the truth, right? I mean, it's cultural. They have their part on their store, their floor to go, and it's all good.
But it's good to be aware if you're going to visit those stores, maybe with your family as well, or kids.
The store is amazing. The store is amazing.
But to be aware that there's a floor maybe that you might come up where maybe.
But
some
you gotta
of the
see
content,
it. You gotta see it.
But maybe if you have children.
Well, if you have children, don't even take them to that shop. Yes.
But it is there.
Yes.
It's a part of for some people of their collection, I think. But you found your one piece already with all those figures in a way.
Oh, that's right, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just moving to Japan overall was like the one piece for me.
For someone who's getting into collecting figures in Japan or from Japan, what kind of advice would you give them? Where do they start now that there've been so many figures released and there's so much out there and so much to choose from? How do you get started on your journey?
Well, if you want to buy figures from Japan, do your research. You know what I mean? I bought a couple figures just to have a company for this one. But then it wasn't like, okay, I'm buying the first thing I'm seeing, right? So I noticed that I need to be more savvy about it, I need to read more, I need to find out more and read in the internet.
Can you find information in English somewhere?
Yes. Bandai, which is the main company doing these figures, they have a website in English too. Banpresto, Ichiban Kushi.
So all the basically the producers.
And you have it's fine. I mean, if you use Google Chrome, you right click and translate. It's not perfect, but it does its work. So don't be afraid of buying from Japan. I mean, that's my first, do it. The price is really good. Just compare. See what's on Mercari Japan and see what's on your country's Amazon or whatever is the seller.
And if you're in Japan, go to Akihabara, go to Dendentown.
Oh yes, definitely.
Check out Book Off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Book Off is a must go because it's everything. It's not just one thing. It's everything, and you can find treasures of any niche you love or like or are interested in.
So
probably.
Before we wrap up, I think you brought one more figure.
Oh yes, I brought one more figure to show you. It's a Dragon Ball figure, which I got from Surugaya.
So the store you mentioned earlier.
I bought this in Dendentown last week, right?
So fresh off the shelf.
So this is a Vegeta from Dragon Ball, right?
Yes.
So I saw it says used here, but 600 Japanese yen, which is $4.50, so 4.5.
Yeah, nearly same price as the earlier figure. And
I bet that
still wrapped in plastic. The box seems
this is probably the store Surugaya.
Okay, they rewrapped
themselves. This wrap here, this coating, it's from Surugaya. But if you see here, it's like, okay, they put a lot of labels. It was this price. Okay, they're not selling it. Lower the price and lower the price until they sell
I
it.
see. If you look at below the ticket, it says 900 yen. So they
Exactly.
reduced a little bit.
Yes, and if you even check, like, if you move this one here, I'm not going to put it up, but if
and you
move
can
it,
see the date at which they actually put it for sale in the store. Is that correct? Yeah.
let me see.
Or is it the day at which you bought it? No.
No, this is probably when the figure was made. I'm not really sure. I cannot.
I think
Really
it's the
sell
day
it
they
for-
put it for sale. So, well, should we open it?
Oh yes, let's go. Let me.
So this might be one of the last few figures that you get for a while, right? If you're slowing down in
No,
your
I
collector's
have
journey.
I have no space, man.
You need a new collector's room.
If you
or
see
bigger one.
the video, then I'll see that I'm limited. I'm really limited. We'll see. Maybe. I mean, sometimes you find like, okay, I thought the figure was exactly brand new, but it's not, right? It's like, okay, it's in the box there, but it's already assembled.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I love probably if it has this. It's
Still
more of
just
the
like the
same.
other figure, wrapped in cardboard and in the original plastic,
There we go.
unopened.
So, same thing, right? Sorry.
Live unboxing on the podcast.
Live unboxing on the podcast. It's not on sale though. It's not on sale. So, okay.
So here we have Vegeta in
Yeah.
a very active position. So you have
Yes. So
the
we
stand
have the stand here.
and the
Probably
hook,
goes this
very
way.
inconveniently placed.
Yes.
All right.
There we go. Let me move this out of the way. So yeah, this is the unboxing we did today.
And again, no scratch, new. Everything is in perfect condition.
Looks in good condition. Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything we haven't talked about collecting figures in Japan? I think if someone was getting interested into this, we have a lot of information for them.
Yes.
And
yes, indeed. I mean,
just go, explore, have fun,
Yeah.
enjoy.
yeah. I mean, the beauty is like, for me, it's okay. Sometimes I want a specific figure, but most times it's like, let's see what I can find. It's hard now, right? It's hard. It's not.
It's
it
hard
was
to stop.
when I started. It was like, dude, it kept me busy in the pandemic. So it was
But now that you have
for
so
the
many-
mental health. It was even like a really good thing.
Mm.
You know, being locked and not really doing anything. Yeah, I mean, you need money for it, but if you know how to do it, if you
You can
listen
find
to
good
this
deals.
episode, you'll have the tools to save some money and collect really nice figures.
Well, thank you very much for sharing your journey to Japan and into collecting figures. It was
Thank
really
you.
interesting because I didn't know much about it, and I bought some figures myself before, but I certainly paid more than you have for those figures. So I'm going to be more careful when I buy some presents next time.
Please.
Thank you, Rodrigo, for sharing everything. If you listen to us from overseas and want to buy figures from Japan, you can use Zen Market.
Yes.
Everything's explained on the website. We'll link it below. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Rodrigo.
Thank you, Toby. Pleasure.
We'll see you again next week. This was Fish and Rice, Stories from Japan. Bye.